what's funny is that even though we have one life game modes, there are rarely any cheaters. Like maybe 10 or 5% of the time I'll run into a cheater, but he's not intentionally doing it. He's not being like a fucking asshole about it. He's like, maybe he just didn't know, or like he was running or something and it just went off him. Some of them are like, they really are. They get hit and then they go hide into cover and like, bro, all right, whatever. I'll just keep shooting you more. It looks better for my video. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like some of them are bad. Some of the new players will be cheating because they just don't know. Like, was that a hit? I don't really know. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. But why do you think that is? Like, why do you think, even though there's one life game modes, and I remember asking an American Airsofter, like, would you do one life game? I was like, no, because everyone will just cheat. Like, everyone's cheating. Like, nobody wants to pay to sit down, right? So I'm like, but why is that an accepted thing, right? Like, why do people call their hits? You know what I mean? Like, they will call it. So why do you think that is? Is it a culture thing? Is it a manners thing, or what do you think?
Yeah, good question. I have seen those comments made like, "Oh, you guys only play one life game modes? Like, so would everyone cheat?"
Yeah.
Actually, no. I rarely, especially one life game modes, I rarely see cheaters.
Yeah.
Like you'll see cheaters in Japan just like in anywhere else, but it's much. The amount is much less.
Yeah, you're not making a cheaters compilation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you almost never see those in Japan. Like, oh, I killed a cheater with HPA 5,000 rounds to face.
Yeah.
You don't see that stuff here. But I think there are many reasons, but the main reason will probably be culture. I know it sounds cliche.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it really sounds like shit. But I truly think deep down inside, living here like 12 years is like. Japanese honor system.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you've taught and I've taught as a teacher, and they teach from like when they're this tall, like never lie, never cheat, always be a good citizen, and then they follow it, for the most part.
Yeah.
And it carries over to Airsoft because since that cultural thing, it's not just honor thing. They also think about others around them. They're like, well, if that guy was cheating or if I was cheating, how would we feel? Wouldn't that just ruin the day? So people just call their hits. And I've seen people call hits when they weren't even hit.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. That's a rule, and people actually follow that. They were like, there's a rule at every Airsoft thing. It's like, there's no ricochet, guys. But if you think that you got hit and you're not sure if it's a ricochet, that's a hit. And then people will call it. I mean, he's like, oh, hit though, ricochet, oh, hit though. I'm like, what? You didn't get hit, bro. What do you mean?
I'm like, you're good, you can stay, but they're like, no, it's fair. And the craziest thing I've ever seen on an airsoft field regarding this situation is I was with a friend who he's one of those speed soft guys who only mains high cap.
Yeah.
He runs, and with handguns you run out of ammo fast.
Yeah.
So he runs out of ammo, and he's like, oh man, Ryan, I have no ammo. I'm like, man, I only got this one gun. I don't have a sidearm. Sorry. Like, just figure it out.
Yeah.
So what he does is while we're under heavy fire, he ducks down under the cover, grabs a bunch of BBs in his hand. He grabs a bunch of BBs off the ground. He goes around the corner and just flicks one at a guy's like visor. The guy looks at him and he's like, hit. And he laughs and he's like, yo, I'm just kidding. It was just for the memes.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, it's fine, you got
That's a hit, bro. Yo.
And he walked out the field. He called it, and he was a good sport. And I was like, only in Japan. Only in Japan,
bro. Yeah, man. One thing I noticed that people don't call the most is gun hits. Gun hits is a thing. Like, I don't know about in America if gun hits are a thing. If you get hit in the gun, is that it?
It depends on the field. I've seen more often in the States is if your gun gets hit, it's disabled, so you gotta switch to like a sidearm.
A sidearm. Yeah, I've been to one field that did that. But in general, if your gun gets hit, you call it like you're dead. It's kind of dumb. But I've noticed that people don't call that. But in general, like everybody is very respectful. And I think there's a second half to that. About like avoiding conflict. So one of the rules explicitly in Japan is you never ever call someone out on the field for cheating, and you never be like, "Oi, like what the hell, bro?" Like you never do that. Like you can get kicked out for doing that. Like don't do that. So if you do see a cheater, like you just gotta yo, you just gotta keep shooting him until he calls it, right? You know what I mean? And then you tell the staff, and then the staff will either approach them and tell them in an indirect way. They'll be like, oh, we noticed you're like running really fast, so maybe you might have to take off your plate carrier. Like they won't be like, yo, bro, why are you not calling your hits? Like they won't do that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they won't do that. Or they'll make a big announcement just saying, everybody make sure you're calling your hits. Like it's very much a culture thing. And I also noticed like on Twitter, on Japanese Airsoft Twitter, like even posting videos of cheaters, like explicitly, like this guy didn't call his hit, he's a zombie. Like fields do not like that. They will like either ban you from the field, ban them from the field. They want the video removed because it ruins their reputation and nobody wants to go to that field. So nobody wants to be that guy, you know, that's like putting someone's name, because that makes that person lose face and makes the field lose face. So like that's why you don't see videos of like cheaters in Japan or ragers and stuff like that. You also don't see videos about kids. Like, can you have kids play in Osaka?
In Nara.